Welcome back, everyone, to another BOLDcast reaction. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
This is Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, Episode 22. We're getting right into this. Leave a like and subscribe. Check out Patreon to get a week ahead on this show on Boruto, Haikyuu, and see a bunch of exclusive stuff. Let's just get right into it. Kira Queen.
He's like, I chose the coolest name for a stand for myself. Oh no. Get it away! Get. Oh. I thought I was gonna say, or all the harvests. He just killed him! That's so sad!
He just came face to face with a killer, with a serial killer, stand user. I don't know what else you expected to happen.
It was just, I don't know, it just is so
He's a fucking serial killer. I have no idea what you were expecting, if not that. I don't know what was wrong with you that you weren't feeling like the danger of that situation.
I just didn't expect him to just get exploded like that.
Lindsay's immune to tension, everybody.
That's sad.
Yeah.
I didn't even like him that much, but he was just a kid.
Yeah. With a family and everything. He's fucking dead. Caved in his face. Whoa. I'm gonna go get. It's gonna go. Get Josuke, come on. A third of his brain is destroyed. So he's gonna be a bit slow.
my god. Wow.
You asked how he got rid of all the bodies off screen and why he keeps the hand. Harvest. Oh, Raimi's there. He drew pictures of his mom and dad.
つまりその犯人はスタンド使いってこと？みんなはシゲチのことあんまり知らねえだろう。シゲチのハーベストに勝てるやつってのは考えらんねえぜ。シゲチを5分の間に殺し学校の中からしたどうやらジョータロウ相手がスタンド使いってことがわしらも動かねばならんようだな。ボタンを広げたしああ、ハーベストの一匹は持ってたんですよ。これはシゲチの遺言だな。犯人が着ているものからハーベストが引きちぎってきたのかも。このボタン預からしてくれ。そんなどこにでもあるようなボタンから追跡できる。
We found an immortal vampire using a fly, so.
Like how he brought his dad. Like that, they had everyone meet up like that. That's pretty cool.
It kind of brings everything full circle, makes it feel like all the episodes weren't just.
いくらこれ15万ってとこじゃ家に入れてお金に換えるわとても私のこと美しい上に似合わないもん
心は醜いが美しい手と顔をしたうちのところに来れば清い心で付き合えるよ
またねそれじゃバイバイ
Just gets rid of it like that.
Are you sure he hasn't retired? Are you sure Shigechi wasn't retired?
Whoa.
Kira Queen! Another beautiful day in Morio.
That's so. It's just so sad.
さあいただこうかああそうだ今日はいろいろと寄るところがあってね夕飯は帰ってきて一緒に食べようね
So he got that other woman then.
Yeah.
しげち君のことがあってからあの後は特に何も起きてないけどこの町のどこかに殺人犯がいるのは間違いない誰もが怪しいと言えば怪しいし怪しくないと言えば怪しくないとも言える
こんにちは翔太郎さんその後何か分かりました例の殺人犯のボタンのこととか
今のところはないだ
Like how he keeps getting like a different outfits.
I think it's cool. He's not wearing like the big pins anymore.
どちらへ行かれるんですか
いや別にその辺
参ったな無口な人だから考えないよ強引だから
Like the exact opposite.
Yeah.
そのコート素敵ですね
この店
Centipede shoes.
靴屋さんですどうかしましたか靴屋だけれどもスカートのウエストとかズボンの裾ちょっと売ってる電気屋もありますよこれがどうかしましたか
There's an electronic shop that sells flowers.
聞き込みを見ようとしていたぞこのボタンはどうかしたのいや見覚えがないなら別にいいんだどんな服についてたボタンなんだどうや食べっ子動物一つどうラクダは最後に食べる連絡な何食べてもいいよ
Weirdly particular
Yeah.
on top of like random generosity.
ほらそこに修理したばっかのやつがあるよ昨日全く
Oh, Jesus. Oh, boy.
ほら同じボタンでやれやれだ見つけたぞ光一君見つけた
いえどんな客でしたか名前わかります
わかりますともバカにしてんですか注文を受けたお客の名前はすべて覚え本当か
Great. What is it?
服の襟のところに注文の札がついてましたもちろん覚えてますよ
Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
でも見た方が早いかなと思って
He's gonna come in before you go.
この名字は
Kanji bullshit.
確か
どれですか見せてください
Whoa. Oh my god, his finger.
Shit just got fucking real.
Oh no.
こっちを見ろ
Oh my god, the bones!
こっちを見ろ光一君それ以上近寄るなおいこっちを見ろって言ってるんだ
These kids.
スタンドか
Oh. Is he wearing
A
like
different
this-
jacket. Well, it's slightly different color.
どこかでなくしたとばかり思っていられたかこのキラヨシ
Kira Yoshikage. He's just saying his name. It was me, Kira Yoshikage.
しかし消えてもらう我がキラークイーンの第二の爆弾地とかいう構造のように
Careful.
Do not get closer.
あの上着を引っ張るもたつき演技臭い
He's trying to lure them in.
Ticking.
この
It's ticking. They don't know anything about it. What is this second thing? Is this just another day for you, or like?
I feel
like what's your what it's going? Do you want to verbalize anything, or do you have any thoughts at all about what's going on? Or
it's pretty crazy, actually.
Thanks for the commentary.
This guy is like, he's in full like, it seems like normally he was like pretty low key. Obviously, he was a serial killer, but he was really like undetected about it. Like he said, no one ever like caught on to him for the last 15 years that he's been doing this. So now he's obviously having to take a lot more drastic action to like get out of stuff. Because before it seems like he would just kill a lady, steal her hand, get rid of the body, and then at that point it's like
it's handled.
And it seemed like he would either pick people who, like he mentioned, like people who were visiting town, or he's picked multiple times people that their, like, partner gave them ooh. That was cool. That their partner gave them a ring or, like, something that they didn't like, and then he killed them, so it would seem like maybe they ran off with it. Just to, like, you know, clear up any sort of trail that, like, might lead them to be killed. So he was pretty, like, he was very planning ahead to eliminate any chances, and now he's having to play catch up and like leaving behind evidence and then chasing them down and then killing a random like innocent guy and blowing up his entire shop with his little like tank looking thing. So he's making a lot of mess right now, and not really, you know, he killed a kid, but then everyone caught on to it immediately. And now he's killed this other guy and people were there, and he's probably not going to be able to kill them because he's probably going to have to get the fuck out of there now that both of his bombs, and they know what his stand is now. If they, you know, they can see that he has explosive stand, so they're going to be watching out for any kind of explosive, any kind of like ticking or like things that could be bombs.
But they don't. No, they just saw that little tank thing, which is completely different than Killer Queen or the like what we saw, that like his you know, the giant pink Catman skeleton thing. It's seemingly a completely different ability. So
well, that might be similar to how Echoes has like two forms. This is like, so he can turn anything he touches into a bomb, and then he also has this little thing that can like, which is go around.
Just by the way, think of how overpowered that is for a second.
It's really overpowered.
To have two completely separate things, if that is the case, like.
Yeah, I had originally thought maybe it was like he like made that little thing like some kind of kid's toy into a bomb, but the way it was moving, it seems like he was like actively controlling it, not like it was just a thing on wheels that could like go, and then he turned it into a bomb. Because he could have also, you know, that's also something that he could do. Like he could turn someone's car into a bomb, and they can drive away close to them, and then it will get them. So he has a lot of flexibility with his stand, seemingly, especially with having like two different options for it. So I don't know how they're gonna, and I don't know how you can like defeat him, you know what I mean? Like if he can do such long-ranged, well, not sure like how long of a range he has with that little one, but like, you know, yeah, how can you none of them have like a power that can like stop a bomb, I guess, you know.
I can't talk.
I know. I'm just thinking about it. Like, I don't know how they're gonna freaking get this guy, and now like everyone is involved in hunting him down.
That was pretty cool. I was like,
I like that scene. That scene was really cool.
How it was brought back. All the people that we've seen so far, except for the little shithead guy who was trying to con everybody. Pretty much everybody we've seen so far that's alive has been brought back and is like informed of everything, because they have like a little town hall type thing. Yeah. It really makes the stories that we've seen up to this point feel really important and like feel connected, and it makes it feel like as slice of life and kind of sometimes boring as a lot of the previous episodes were compared to this main arc that we're seeing now. They've fleshed out a lot, and what we've seen is coming back into play, at least in some small way. Like, who knows how much we'll see of the other characters like Tonio or like Aya or Hazamada or anybody, but at least we're seeing them.
They were brought, just the fact that they were brought back and like included in this as fellow stand users, it's like, okay, even if you're not gonna Tonio's not gonna be out there looking for this guy, but he's going to warn people that come to his restaurant to like watch out for him, This was really sad.
Shigechi.
I thought that he had already like fully just disappeared the last one, then he's like crawling around. I mean, he's by the door, and then he like drew his mom and dad on his desk, and it looked like a little harvest as well. It's really sad.
And then Raimi sees him.
I don't know. When was she so fucked up about watching all the before she's talking like, oh, I watched the spirits of people that he's killed like flying overhead, and you're picturing like, I don't know, just seeing like the person fly overhead or something but it was his death, like him dying, like up in the sky.
Yeah, well, she and her dog both still have the wounds that they got when they died, so somebody who's exploded to death is a bit different.
It's just a lot more graphic than I was imagining when she
looking.
described that. Yeah. It's really sad, and I think especially adding like the drawings on his desks and stuff, and like talking about his parents just really brought it back to like how young he is.
Yeah.
You can kind of tell that he's a kid, but he's kind of a shithead, so you're not like, you don't. You know what I mean? Like when he's like, oh, I'm gonna take all the money and not give any to you. He doesn't seem like that like young or like that, just doing kid stuff, drawing bad pictures of your parents on your desk. I don't know, it was really sad.
What do you think of Kira as a villain? I think his whole speech when he is discussing like his life is like kind of chilling, and the way he's like, no, calm down. Just tell me if they have stands as well.
He's actual, like he's a literal serial killer, and that's very much his vibe. And I like it a lot compared to some of the other villains that we've had that are very eccentric. He's eccentric, but in such like a calm way, you know what I mean? Like I'm just your average guy, I go to bed on time every night. I wake up and I go to work and keep to myself, and my doctor says nothing's wrong with me, and I take a shit in the morning. Like, I don't know, like it's just such he's just making himself sound so normal, but we've seen him and we've seen his like daily activities of to everyone else, he is a normal guy, and then he's wandering around with a severed hand in his coat pocket, and like poking into sandwiches and shit like that, which is not normal or chill at all. But to him, because he's been doing it so long, he's just developed such like a calmness about it, and it is so normal for him that it's not a stressful, like he's confident to bring out the hand in public in a sandwich store, because he just hasn't got caught for so long, and this is like the first thing that's really getting to him after all this time. So it's really interesting to see someone like this, in JoJo, where there are so many guys who obviously are like technically serial killers, but not that like chilling vibe of normal guys, like a real life serial killer coupled with a stand as well that can do crazy shit and explode stuff, So it's very different, and I really like it. It's cool.
It's really cool, or just not really, it's not good or cool. I guess it's kind of cool, how his stand, because it's a stand, and most people cannot see or hear stands, when he activates a bomb, we hear a big explosion because we're, like, stand users, basically. Yeah. We can see that. But normal people don't hear anything. That's established right here when he kills Shigechi.
Yeah.
Nobody sees or knows any different. If they saw what happened, they would just see a person get Thanos essentially, and there'd be nothing left because it all gets incinerated. There's no ash or anything, any residue, no evidence whatsoever. So that's even more chilling that he has the perfect body disposal tool. The whole like danger aspect of a serial killer of like, how am I gonna dispose of the body is completely removed, and now it's just about how do I do it so I'm not seen. You know, that's basically his only worry, and everything else is like, if anything happens, you could just turn them to dust, or not even dust, less than dust.
Yeah, it's like, exactly. A serial killer in real life has to deal with the body, but if he doesn't even have to deal with that, then he just does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
And it's also better because that's also probably why he hasn't gotten caught. Because if there was any evidence, then they would be onto him. But since there's not, and he picks specific people, it's like, oh, they just ran away. Oh, they were done their vacation, so they left town. You know, it's
or she's home alone and her parents are away and whatever, or maybe Raimi's parents were still there.
Yeah, they were there. He killed the parents first. My theory is she's the first one, and that's why it's so different than all.
It wasn't or no, it was. No, yeah, you're right, it was.
So if he, how old would he have been then? He would have been like.
If he's 33, that was 15 years ago. He would have been 18 years old.
Yeah, so he would have been a couple years older than her at the time.
Yeah,
which also could explain, as well, why he's now like going after people similar to his age, because he is like dating them in his mind.
Yeah.
As far as we know, like so far he's been going around like 30-year-old women. It seems people who are getting newly engaged or like getting rings from their boyfriends and stuff. And yeah, so if she was his first victim, he went after her and just stabbed her in the back. He had stabbed her family, stabbed the dog, got her as well. And it was way more messy, and it got out, like people knew about it. This was a well-known like murder case. Since then, he has been doing it continuously, but hasn't gotten caught because he learned to like hide his tracks and like be more careful since then. So yeah, it's interesting and I don't know, really disturbing as well.
What do you think of Killer Queen? I remember you even said, I remember off screen a couple weeks ago you said like, what if I think you literally said, like, what if there was somebody who with the stand that was like Queen, and it was like one of the most powerful and dangerous ones, and it was like maybe Killer Queen or something like that.
It's the coolest
or named after a Queen song. I don't think you mentioned Killer Queen specifically, but
it's the coolest like name for a stand that you could have. Honestly.
Killer Queen, especially one for like a name for a stand that is the stand of a serial killer. It just makes so much sense. And you're right, it is like super duper powerful and useful. Like he can literally eat anything he touches, it's a bomb. Anything. No, like that's the power. And apparently he also seemingly has this little tank thing. If that is his stand or not an accomplice. He doesn't seem like he has any accomplices or witnesses. No. He said that, so we're to assume, I think, that this is a separate ability. A separate thing. Like who else has two stands? You know?
Yeah. Unless it is like a part of his stand, similar to like, Echo's Act 2 and stuff like that.
But he can't use both at the same time.
No, he can't.
But we don't know if he's using both at the same time.
We don't know if he's using both at the same time or what. Yeah.
It's still,
I liked it in like the skull form. It was really, it was a lot creepier actually. But the design of this one is cool as well.
It's the eyes in the opening as well, if you haven't noticed. It's like when I chase you, and then it zooms into that eye. Yeah. This is like a fan favorite stand. It's a lot of people's favorite.
It's looking like Mewtwo out here.
I think it's like the most popular stand in the whole series because it's so like crazy. That whole sequence with Shigechi, when I watched it freaked me the fuck out. I'm kind of surprised that you weren't as like freaking out, honestly, because it's insane. Like it completely switches up the vibe entirely, and it makes it so much more compelling than like anything we've seen in the whole series.
It's so sad and it's so brutal, and I think what really caught me off guard about it like why I like almost wasn't expecting it, even though it
was happening.
I think it was because in all the other parts, it seems like the violence was so much more. In this part, they haven't even, like, even when they're attacking enemy stands, most of them become their friends or like acquaintances afterwards. A lot of the stands haven't been like trying to kill
malicious.
them. Like they've been malicious, but not in like a evil way. More like they're just doing their own thing, and if someone gets in the way,
that's what malicious means.
Evil. Okay.
Anyway, I get your point. What are you trying to say about that?
It's been so much different in this part that to just someone comes in and kills one of the side characters in such a violent and like brutal way, just in this town, because that's the thing. They're like, you know, he's just a middle school kid wanting to eat a sandwich. You know what I mean? It's a lot more messed up than almost any other death, because when Abdul got killed and when Iggy got killed, they were like invading Dio's house and people were trying to stop them. So it like, you know what I mean? And he was just at his school. So it's just, yeah, it's sad. He was like barely involved, you know?
He was not involved at all. Not barely. He wasn't involved at all. How, in what way was he involved?
No, I meant like even with, like, he was friends with Josuke, but he wasn't like a part of their like stand group that like
Yeah, he was.
No, I mean like in terms of like hunting down bad guys with stands.
Oh,
like
yeah.
like he was friends with people who that was their thing, but he wasn't a part of that at all. He had a stand and he knew about stands, but
he wasn't part of Josuke and Jotaro's like seeking out the evil that's in this town or whatever. Yeah.
Man, I feel bad. And I feel so bad that those fucking girls, they like see him all messed up and they're like, oh, no, he's just weird. Let's leave him there. And it's like, he's bleeding.
Yeah, he's like giant wounds. His face was literally like concave. Like that's why his nose was all fucked up. It's hard to show that in 2D, but they described it like, yeah, his face and forehead were like smushed in and crushing his brain. Like he was like concussed and like not thinking clearly. And the voice acting on Shigechi there was crazy. Like just the sounds of panic and like desperation were really strong. Despite like how silly his character normally is, like that's what makes it even more tragic. Is he's like, we just met him, we just had all this funny stuff of him being super greedy and like funny and just kind of weird, and then he just is, what happens, man. I guess if you run into this motherfucker on the wrong day. Or on any day, under the wrong circumstances. Hope you guys leave a like and subscribe. Hope you check out Patreon to see the next episode. I'm Carson.
I'm Lindsay.
I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.